Hi there. Your course and Bellevue College have proctored with a virtual proctoring system for exams and quizzes for this course. I want to walk you through the process so that you're a little bit more familiar when it comes time to take your first exam. So for Examity, you will be using your computer system, and you will either need to have a built-in microphone and camera, or you will use an external camera in order to be able to communicate with a virtual proctor. Virtual proctor is sort of similar to having an exam taken in an actual classroom setting where your teacher is your proctor and you're taking the exam in front of them, but this will be done in an online environment, very much like this conversation I'm having with you. You will see the virtual proctor in the corner of the screen, and they will be watching your screen and you taking the exam the entire time, mostly to ensure that your exam goes smoothly and also to be sure that you are taking the test without using notes or your book if that's not allowed. And so you'll need to make sure that your camera and your microphone are working correctly, and also that you have a computer that's fast enough to be able to download some of the images or test questions that may come up for your particular course. So there's information here in the Examity setup, and there's a speed test here, and you can just click on this speed test, and it should let you know if you have fast enough speed results. And you can watch that run for yourself, but I won't go through it here for this purpose. And then also the webcam test. I don't have the link there just at the moment, but I will put that in for you. And you just click on the play button here, and it tells you allow. You can tell that mine's working because you can see me down here in the corner. So when you want to click on Examity and set up your profile, you will actually go to the main page for the course. And under modules, your instructor should have set up a particular Examity module, and usually that's done at the very bottom of the course. They may have it in a different location, but it's generally at the bottom. And you will click here on Examity, and that will open up a new page, and it will say open in a new window. And then from there you would click on Student. So now your Bellevue College login and password will be working for Examity as well, so you won't have to remember a new login password. When you do log on, it may ask you to check your time zone, and you should also set up your profile. By setting up your profile, you should upload your ID and also other contact information so Examity knows how to get a hold of you if you don't show up for an exam that you were expected to take. When you do this, when you set up your profile, then you will also need to type in 3 security questions. And when you do that, they're using biometrics to check how you type and how fast you type, so they can use that to make sure as another check that it's actually you who's doing the typing and not somebody else. So going back to our information here, so that would be setting up your profile. Once you've done that, you'll be prepared to take a test. And you can set up the test any time that the test is open within Canvas, and if you schedule it more than 24 hours in advance, you will not have to pay a fee. Bellevue College covers that fee for you. But if you schedule within 24 hours, then you have to pay a $5 fee. Prices may vary. It may have changed since the time I've updated this video, but the last time that they had a fee, it was $5 for within the 24 hours. So once you are scheduled to take an exam, the proctor will start the conversation with you, and you will have to log on and show them your ID. So you will hold up your ID to the camera like that. And then if you have a separate webcam, it's very helpful. I'm going to pretend like my cell phone is a webcam because I don't have a separate one. But you would be able to pan over your entire desktop and make sure everything is clear and pan the room like this. And that would be able to show them that the room is clear and that you're by yourself and that you don't have any notes or books open if that's not allowed with your instructor. They just want to be sure that your desktop is clear and you have no distractions. If when you're taking the test you're constantly looking over to one side of your computer table, or if you talk with your hands, sometimes that's a red flag for the person that's doing the proctoring. And the instructor is able to also review that videos, so they can go through and say, no, that wasn't that, that's not cheating. They're thinking about something, but it's something that the instructor can review. And if there's any reason that they have concerns, they may be contacting you for a conversation about that exam. That should be all the information that you might need to know about your exam. Please schedule these well in advance. You don't want to wait till the last minute in case there is some computer glitch or other information or other problems that may come up. You want enough time to where if something comes up for you or if you get ill, that you have enough time to reschedule that exam before the end of the week. Let's see. You're able to set up the exams anytime 24/7 within that window that is open within Canvas. That's very helpful. If you do not want to do this virtual proctoring system, if that's uncomfortable for you, you can also set up an alternative proctor. And there's information about that within this document right here. And the alternative proctor needs to be somebody in a professional setting. So it might be your boss at work, it might be a librarian, you can use a BC library or you can use a medical library, but I suggest that you set that up well in advance so that you and your instructor can agree on a alternative proctor, and that also your instructor will need to email some information to that alternative proctor to make sure that they understand that they are responsible for that exam, and then they will also send some information back of what time you're scheduled and the expected day. So those are really important things to have happen ahead of time so that the alternative proctor and the instructor have plenty of time to communicate with one another. So please be aware of that, and if you have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of your instructor. There are some extra documents down at the bottom here of how to use the software, the Examity software, frequently asked questions for students, as well as a checklist of things that you might want to be prepared with ahead of time, your ID, the webcam, the speed test, those sorts of things. They also have some support information here, phone numbers and emails, as well as live chat if you have any questions about Examity. So we hope that you find Examity to be easy to use and that you don't have any issues with it, but please give us feedback on this system. Thank you.